Hello and welcome to a new Sorry, I yelled there. Hello and welcome to a new episode of Other Record Labels. I'm your host, Scott. Today we're going to talk about the idea of how to get unstuck if you feel unstuck. I mean, are you really stuck? No. What does stuck mean? I think it's just like this mental fog that we have when we run a business, specifically when we run a record label. But you might feel this too if you're an artist or an indie artist, or if you're like me and you have a label and an indie artist, and you're an indie artist, and you have a business. Do you know what I mean? Like all these things, it's like sometimes you have ideas in your head, you don't even know where to begin. And so if you're watching this at the beginning of the year, I think you might find this helpful as a way to just kind of reset and get on the right track, or maybe just kind of like shake you out of that funk or help you get unstuck. A big shout out to our friends at Infinite Catalog, who are the best at managing your record label's royalties, but more on them in just a little bit. I've got three things. Now, these aren't like three things you all have to do, but that you could do one of them, you could do two of them, you could do all three, or maybe one of them will spark an idea to do your own thing. Okay, number one is network with other record labels. I've talked about this a lot, and I'm going to give you some examples and some ideas, ways that you can network with other record labels. In fact, I've kind of made this one of my like unofficial New Year's resolutions as an artist, to collaborate with other artists. On this show, I get to interview record labels, and sometimes I meet these record label owners who are in the same genre as me, and they also happen to be independent artists, and we kind of talk about the same struggle and the same opportunities that we've been exposed to, and we give each other ideas and helpful tips, and sometimes we do music together. And so I'm actually making it a resolution to do more collaborations, because incredible things happen. It's like 1 + 1 equals like 55 or 100 or 3. It's never just 1 + 1 equals 2. Like there's always something unique that comes out of a collaboration. So I'm personally forcing myself to do that. I work from home and I'm an introvert, so I don't normally work with other people. So I have to force myself to do that. And I think you should as well with your record label. And so there's a couple ways you could do that. First of all, one of the ways the biggest ways I've seen in our community is people doing co-releases. So two record labels doing a co-release. So let's say you could do it this way. Your record label does things digitally because you're really good with YouTube and you're really good with streaming and you have some contacts in the playlist curation world. So you take care of the streaming for the album. And then another record label maybe takes care of all the physical stuff because they're really good with cassettes or CDs or vinyl. And so the other way I've seen people do it is like you take care of the European market, and then another record label takes care of North America. Maybe even another record label takes care of Australian market. But doing these collabs on a release is really cool because it frees you up from some of those stuff that you're not good at, or at least just half of the job it frees you up. Another way you can collab and network is creating like a local community, like a collective of record labels in your city. So if you're in a major metropolitan area, perhaps you could get together with other record label owners and meet once a month or every other month at a club or a restaurant or at your house or whatever, and just commiserate. Like no agenda, have some food or drinks if you want, but just talk and share. I've had this ongoing monthly meeting with another record label owner who's also an entrepreneur and he's also a musician. And like we just like hop on Zoom and instantly like gold is just like pouring out. And I'm learning tons of things. It's like a university class and he's learning and we're just experiencing these things. There's never been an agenda. It's just like, hey, what's new with you? And then we start talking about something. So maybe start like a local chapter of like a collective. Another thing you can do is you could start a mastermind with just you and some of your indie record label friends. So maybe you're part of a community on Twitter or you've met a few people in your genre and that are all over the world. You could meet up on like a monthly or quarterly or yearly basis, probably more frequently than that. Like monthly would be ideal. Hop on a Zoom call and then just do the same thing I was talking about. And that's just your mastermind. So many cool things are going to come from you networking and collaborating with other record labels. And that'll help you get unstuck because you learn somebody else's system, somebody else's ways of viewing things. And you're like, yeah, I never thought about it that way. It's huge. You can also join our Label Mates group. Go to otherrecordlabels.com/labelmates. We're doing these like 6-week intensive sessions for new record label owners. Check that out. Number 2 is you could start something new. This is a good way to shake yourself out of whatever funk you're in, is by saying, okay, I'm going to hold myself accountable and I'm going to challenge myself to start a brand new initiative. I don't know what that is. And Ideally, it's something unconventional, something outside the norm for record labels. So, like a new product, maybe it's a piece of software, maybe it's opening a retail store. Maybe it's just a line of merch, or maybe it's like that local collective of other record labels that I talked about. Maybe it's an event you're going to do once a month at a club, a DJ night. I don't know. Start something new. Now, not right away, not this week, not this month even. Maybe in 3 months from now. Give yourself a deadline, 3 months, 4 months. Maybe you're listening to this in January and you're like, September 1st, I'm going to launch this new thing. I've got 9 months to figure it out. Giving yourself that type of focus and deadline to do something really big, an incredible way to get you to focus on something. And honestly, I don't care if the thing is a success or a failure. The success is actually in the planning and in the building and strategizing. It can be big, it can be small, it can actually be boring, like getting your record label's royalties into shape. Maybe you've been procrastinating on gathering all your data and making sure your artists get paid, and now it's piling up and you're a few months or a few quarters behind. I am. That's okay. Now's the time to get that in order. And that could be the thing that you're starting new right now. And our friends, who just so happen to be the sponsor of today's episode, are Infinite Catalog, who are the platform of choice for record labels in our community to help them get their record label royalties managed and to get their artists paid. So basically, this software takes all of your income from so many different sources like sync licensing and publishing and your digital distribution and your physical distribution, takes all of that and it presents it to you in a beautiful little way. It lets your artists log in and see how much money they've been making and how much money they're owed and when they're going to get paid. And it helps you pay your artists too. So it's super simple and it's a great way to kind of like start fresh. So to learn more about them, go to infinitecatalog.com/other record labels. If you want to get a special discount through us, that's infinitecatalog.com/other record labels. And thanks to them for sponsoring today's episode. Finally, number 3, and one of my favorites, is the power of threes. That means we're going to look for 3 super small, sort of significant micro ways that we can improve multiple areas in our record label. I believe in the idea of like compounding strategies, small changes that can lead to significant changes. Have you ever read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear? Great book, amazing book. Everybody needs to read it. I don't care who you are, you have to read that book. In the beginning of the book, he was talking about this like British cycling team, and they were never winning. And then they went to becoming some of the best in the world for a very long time. And the way they did that, surprisingly, was in no big magic pill. It was just in like improving small little things, from like their spandex to like what they ate and drank and to the equipment on their bikes, like all just little things. And so how does that apply to us? I love this. I think this is just so simple. It's so easy for my dumb monkey brain to understand. So basically it's this. Let's make a list of 10 categories or 10 areas in your record label that you can improve. Super simple, okay? I'll list them here. Bandcamp, I got a list. Website, your artist royalties, which we just talked about. Social media, streaming and playlists, physical sales, maybe your artist relationships, like the relationships with the artists on your roster, maybe your community and your relationship with your community, maybe merch, and maybe record stores, like dealing with local record stores or the record stores in your artist's hometown. Okay, we have 10 categories. Now we're going to look for 3 super simple things we can do in each one of those categories just to improve things. So if you go to your website, just browse around for like 5 minutes, make sure all the links are working well and there's nothing out of date. Good, that's one. Let's add something, like a little freshen it up, maybe update our logo and just polish things a little bit. Good. There's 3 things done. The point of this is that if you do a 3% increase on all 10 of these categories, then you've just given your entire record label a 30% increase. You've just improved your record label by 30%. Don't check that math. I don't know if it's correct. Please don't check it. Just trust me. Look for as many areas as possible. You don't have to be 10. You could do 5. You could do 2 or 3. And then in those categories, what are like three super simple things you can do? Listen, if you're a procrastinator like me, you look at the idea of like something like getting all of your record label royalties in order. That's like daunting. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Or like the second thing I said about starting something new, that's kind of intimidating. I don't know where to begin. The easiest thing to do on this list is this power of three, is just looking at a bunch of different categories at your record label and making three tiny little improvements. In fact, when you're finished this video, you could go do it in one of those areas right now. Open up your Bandcamp, open up your Shopify store, open up your social media and think, how can I improve this? Can I clean up our link in bio so there's not so many options? Can I post something on social media today? Maybe on a notepad, I'll post everything I'm going to post this week. I'm going to plan one post for each day. Can I maybe shut down some of the channels that are out of date? Really simple changes that you could just do right now. I hope you found this helpful. Go to otherrecordlabels.com/unstuck, where I'll put the notes from today's episode. And I'm also going to put some of my free resources that help record labels stay organized. I have a bunch of them I've created over the years. So I'll throw some of them up on this page just to help you kind of like, clear the fog and get back on the right track with your record label. You're not stuck. You're not stuck. That's just in your head. You're literally not stuck. You just need to like refresh the way you think. And so I hope you found this helpful. And another shout out to our friends at Infinite Catalog. Make sure you go and show them some love. And thanks to them for sponsoring our episode. Thanks for watching.